Visitors have been coming to the 9/11 Tribute Center, located across from the World Trade Center on Liberty Street, since 2005 to experience guides who tell their personal stories of September 11th. Tribute guides now lead the official walking tours on the 9/11 Memorial. They connect visitors to the history of the World Trade Center, the design of the memorial, and the meaning of the rebuilding. The guides also help visitors understand the humanity of the response to the tragedy and the resulting impulse among survivors to want to repay that generosity by giving back. Tribute guides have formed a community with a special bond of understanding. Here are 4 of our volunteer guides: Judy, a family member; Bill, a firefighter; Jeanette, a survivor; and Joan, who lives in the residential neighborhood closest to the World Trade Center. They each tell their 9/11 story and talk about the meaning they find in sharing their experiences with each other and with visitors.
I've joined a family that understands that kinship to a person who's going through exactly what you're going through, just at a different time.
They say they have learned to appreciate people's diverse experiences of 9/11 from listening to each other's stories.
I've become so much more empathetic to the survivors, to the fire department, the police department, all the people that were involved in the rescue. It was very easy to get involved just in my loss. And I think coming here, I now can really understand the feelings that other groups had.
The guides appreciate the solace they feel in the retelling of their stories to audiences who want to hear them.
This is where he died. This was his place to be at that time, so I think that I have to kind of honor that a little bit. So I think part of it is for him that I'm doing this, but also for me. That I've moved on a little bit and another step in my own recovery.
Tribute guides also want to acknowledge the community that existed in and around the Twin Towers.
But for me, because that site played such a major role in my life, it held such an important part in my life, and so for me it's very important to recreate the site for my guests. I do it for them because I want them to know where they're standing, but I also do it for me because it helps me heal.
How many people want to tell you what they were doing that day, where they were, what happened to them, and they can tell you, and they feel like they're coming full circle by visiting the site and telling you of how they feel, and you've already told them how it affected you, so it helps them out.
What I liked most is that the guides are always connected personally to the 9/11 tragedy. So the first time I came, it was a banker who worked in the South Tower telling us about how he escaped. And it was really a miraculous and amazing story. And then the second time, it's about people who actually lost a loved one. It really touches on personal loss, and I really gravitate towards real stories of the tragedy, and that's what makes the tour so interesting and great.
I've never experienced a tour like that. In Europe, we've been to lots of places, but this one, 2 things. We could imagine how it was, every side of it was okay. And number 2, such a profound personal view on it. I never experienced anything like that. It was just amazing.
The bond established between the storytellers and the listeners is itself transformative. By the end of the tour, the visitors feel inspired by experiencing the resilience of the guides and by watching them reach out to make a difference in their world.